Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making my special holiday dish. Last year I was dabbling around in the kitchen and I came up with this awesome stuffed tofu. It's tofu and it's got a stuffing of bread. I use Dave's Killer bread, or I use Ezekiel, and I dry it and then I just make like a stuffing with it. Today this has to be made a day in advance, so we're going to start with the tofu. I'm going to walk you through all the stuff. It's a little detailed, but the end result is really worth the effort. So what you're going to be needing is extra firm tofu. Okay, I really care for this brand because it's very firm, dense. You're going to need Rasperry Preserve, or you're going to need Apricot Preserve. I've done it with both because I make this a couple times during the year because I really do enjoy it. So raspberry or apricot preserve. Make sure it's vegan or vegetarian. That's no gelatin. It's made with pectin. Wild oats is made with pectin. The spread. You're gonna need maple syrup, liquid aminos, soy sauce, tamari, coconut aminos, whatever you like. I like liquid aminos. You're going to need apple cider vinegar. I like using the raw, but you can use the regular refined apple cider vinegar. Extra virgin olive oil. You're going to need apple juice. You're going to need two types of anise. You're going to need the Spanish style anise seed. You're going to need the Star Anise, cloves, ginger, and garlic powder. Okay? And let me see, am I forgetting anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, you're going to need a Ziploc, because you're going to have to marinate it in that, and a container to make sure you don't make a mess in your kitchen. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to walk you through how we're going to cut the tofu. So here we are. Give me down here, and there's the tofu. Okay, so here's your block of tofu. Okay, you're gonna cut it this way, vertically, horizontally. So you get two pieces. So the end product, when you make your big tofu, it's gonna be held with toothpicks, but you're gonna have stuffing in the middle, and then you're gonna have the tofu in the top. So it's like a sandwich. Now, this is what I like doing. I like scoring it on the top because it makes it very pretty, and when you bake it, it actually looks very nice. So just slightly, just barely, like not even an eighth of an inch, just score it on the top. Okay. And counterclockwise, the opposite. So you're gonna end up with a bunch of little triangles, like diamonds actually, not triangles. Diamonds on top of the tofu. And this looks amazing when it's done. If you want to get really fancy, you can put a clove in each one. And it really does, I mean, it really doesn't affect the flavor that much, but it looks very pretty. You know how they do I hate saying this, the ham. But you can put cloves in each little diamond, and that looks very pretty. I don't care so much for the cloves, that much cloves, so we're gonna just put it in the marinade, and that's pretty much it. Okay, at that point, once you get all that done, let's go ahead with the sauce. I take a container just to keep stuff from not spilling all over the place. Okay, and here we go. You're gonna need a quarter cup of liquid aminos. And you need quite a bit of liquid because this is going to marinate all night. It's got to marinate for at least a minimum of 6 hours, but I prefer all overnight. Okay. Then you're going to need a third cup of maple syrup. And I measure everything because I got this down to a science. Okay. You're going to need half a tablespoon of garlic powder. I prefer the garlic powder for this, not the fresh. I think the fresh is actually too strong. It almost steers away from the flavor. The grated ginger. Here I have let me see. I have 10 whole black peppercorns. I forgot, you're gonna need that also. Okay, 10 black peppercorns. An eighth of a teaspoon of anise seed, 1 star anise, and 10 cloves, and a half a tablespoon of freshly grated ginger. Just throw all that in there. I'll put all the measurements in the comments so you can have it there. Okay. Then you're going to put 1 tablespoon of the apricot or raspberry preserve. Okay, I just big dollop. Then you're going to need an eighth of a cup of apple cider vinegar. You're going to need a tablespoon of olive oil. You could omit the olive oil, but I think it actually adds a little moisture to the tofu. Okay. And then you're going to need 1 whole cup of, actually a half a cup. Let me see. Actually 3/4 cups, I'm sorry. Here's the other one. 3/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. I mean of apple juice. Shake this up to dissolve the preserve. Shake it up really good. And put your tofu in there. Mix it up really good. Make sure it all gets dressed in there. And you don't have to press the tofu for this. You can just take it right out of the package, wrap it in a paper towel or a tea cloth or cheesecloth, whatever, and just squeeze a little bit of the water, but you don't have to press it. So you don't have to go through all that headache. And that's pretty much it. And tomorrow we'll take the next step, alright? So see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye. Hello gang. So here we are, we're back the following day. So this is what I did just to save a little bit of time here. I took the tofu and I put it under running water and removed all the seeds because they stick to the tofu. And then I went ahead and I strained the seeds and the black pepper and all that stuff. I strained it through a colander, got rid of it. Then I took here the broth that you have. I put an extra tablespoon of maple syrup. I don't put that much maple syrup initially because if not, it'll be too sweet. But you do put it at the end, an extra tablespoon, just so you get a nice glaze, because all of this is going to reduce in the oven. Turn your oven on to 380 degrees. This is going to bake for about 30-35 minutes. And then, just to show you, I did take the tofu and I put the cloves, so you can see how pretty it does look. You see on each diamond, I put a clove, or you can put it in between each cut, however you want to do it. Anyway, I normally don't do that, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. Okay, so at this point we're going to go ahead and I took a pan. I use a loaf pan because I want all the juices to sit there. I put enough oil in there to coat it, because if not it will stick. And then I put the bottom layer. Now we're going to put the stuffing on top of that, and then we're going to put this top on top of that when it's all done. Anyway, and then we're going to pour the juice, the broth from the marinade in the pan in there. Okay, so we'll be right back. I'm going to show you how to get the stuffing started. All right, so we're back, and here we're going to get started with the stuffing. I know this is going to seem a little, I hope this doesn't seem too daunting, but this is what I have. This is what I use for my stuffing. You can make your own stuffing, but I have about 4 slices of Ezekiel bread. I like the flax bread. You can use Eureka. The vegan ones are 1 Degree by Veganic. Eureka bread is also vegan. Dave's Killer Breads is vegan, and Ezekiel. I'm using Ezekiel flax. That's what that's my preferred bread, but you can use any bread you want. This is what I like putting in my stuffing. You can take it whatever level you want. You can add or take away if you want. I have bella mushrooms diced, onions and green peppers. You can add celery. I'm not a big fan of celery, so I'm ditching it. I have sun-dried tomatoes, julienne, scallions. I have walnuts, cranberries. Then here I have poultry seasoning, thyme, fennel seeds, crushed red pepper flakes. I have sage, smoked paprika, Italian seasoning, and that's pretty much it for what's in here. Then I like adding a little bit of rice in my stuffing, believe it or not. It just gives it that, I don't know, it just gives it a whole different texture. So I like adding rice. I have brown rice, cooked brown rice. You don't have to put it in there if you don't want. And then I'm going to be using better than bouillon, not chicken. See, no chicken. About a teaspoon of this. If you don't have this, you can use this one. And if you don't have anything, just use a nice heavy vegetable stock. Okay? And then what I'm going to do here is get a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, or you can saute with water, whichever you like. I'm just going to use a little bit of oil, just because I like that, you know, caramelly texture to my onions and stuff, which you can't really get when you see. I mean, there's practically no oil in there, and I'm going to put that in there. Sorry, I seem a little disorganized this morning. So we're going to let that, and mushrooms. And also salt and pepper. I always forget the salt and pepper. I like putting a little salt in here at this time, because that helps caramelize the, dry out the mushrooms and stuff. Just a little bit of pink salt. And cracked pepper. Started. Okay, I'm going to let this saute for a little bit so the onions are translucent and the mushrooms have shrunk up, and I'll be back. So we are. Just want to show you. See, it's got a nice color. It took about 4 or 5 minutes, roughly. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add all my spices and herbs. You know, me and blooming my spices, so add that in there. You might have to add a little bit of water. If you use a lot of oil, you use more oil if you want. I'm going to put all the portions in the comments. At this point, I'm going to add my, actually, forgot, gotta add my rice. I like toasting my rice a little bit. Smell this, that sage smells insane. Add a little bit of water, just a little bit. Because again, I'm not using oil. I'm using oil, but not that much. There we go. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of, not chicken bouillon. Don't worry guys, my hands are clean. And there, spread it all out. Now this time you have to add water. I'm going to add about a quarter cup of water. Then all your other goodies. Just throw everything in there. Sun-dried tomatoes, blueberries, cranberries, walnuts, and your stuffing. Your bread, I should say, not your stuffing, because you're making stuffing. And if you guys don't want to put the stuffing in the middle of the tofu, you can put this on the side and just bake it in a dish. That'll work just fine also. So, added about another quarter cup. I like my stuffing a little dry. I don't really care for mushy stuffing, but add as much water as you want to your liking. And add a little more water just to, because all the breads are different. Ezekiel is a very dry bread. We use Dave's Killer bread, it's a lot more moist, so you'll probably use less water than I am. And what I did with the bread is I sliced it and then I baked it. I didn't add no oil or anything, just to get it nice and crispy dry. It's coming on just fine. And it's almost done, guys. And here we are. And you can add apricots, you can add apples, you can add whatever you want in your stuffing. This is just my simple stuffing. And I'm going to taste it for flavor. Come here, fine. Doesn't even need salt because of the bouillon. That's what it looks like, guys. See? Doesn't that look amazing? Beautiful color, texture, and the flavor is insane. So that's that. Let's grab our tofu. Put this, I like putting it on a corner here. Simple reason, because all the juice falls on this end. I can just scoop it in every 10 minutes or 15 minutes, just throw a pouring the glaze over it. Take your stuffing. You're going to have a lot more stuffing than what you're going to use, but I just pile it on there actually. If you want to get all fancy, you could wrap this around in parchment paper to make sure that the stuffing doesn't pour over the sides. I'm not like that. I like that rustic look anyway. Or you can make your tofu separately and then put your stuffing on it, but I like all the flavors to, you know, seep into the tofu and all that. Scoop it all out, put it on there. Just wanted to show you what it looks like. You see? I hate this camera. But anyway, you see, it's nice and piled right on top of the tofu. Take your other block of tofu, press it on there, nice and tight. Scoop the sides, get it nice and compact. It's okay, some of your stuffing comes out, that's no big deal. Now, pour your sauce over it. And we're going to bake this until that sauce is going to become almost like a syrup. Okay. Now, 30, 40, it all depends on your oven. So I'm going to say 35 minutes to 45 minutes, probably. Could take a little longer. But I'll be back to show you how it looks when it's finished baking, okay? So, we're back. Just to give you a little overview of how the tofu went. Actually, it took me almost an hour for this one. I guess it really does depend on the moisture that of the firm tofu. Different brands contain more liquid than others. So this one actually took me 55 minutes to bake it. Well, worth the time though. It came out amazing. Again, at 380 degrees. Mine took an hour. I've made it in the past. It's taken 35 minutes. I guess, like I said, it just depends on the brand. And I don't normally press the tofu. Probably if you press it, it'll take a lot less time. But anyway, I didn't press it. I've done it 100 times. Every time it does vary anyway. Last time it took me 35 minutes. I think the time before that, it took me almost an hour. This time it took me an hour also. But and it's funny because I keep using the same brand tofu. So I don't know. Go figure. Anyway, I thought I'd show you the end product. I've unmolded it. And here you are. Here's the tofu. There's the cloves. You see that beautiful cloves on the top. The stuffing. So it's sweet. It's tangy. It's savory. It's amazing. I really recommend you guys try this recipe because it's off the charts. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate this for you. I made some mashed potatoes. My version, because I make a mashed potatoes for the holidays. It's I take 3 red potatoes or any Idaho potatoes, whatever type of potato, and then I take 1 sweet potato and I boil it so it's tender, and then I add soy milk. I don't add butter. I don't care for the vegan butter, only on occasion, but I don't normally put vegan butter in my potatoes. And then I just whip it with a stand mixer or a hand mixer until it comes out really fluffy. And then I'm going to have gravy along the side with this. This is vegan, believe it or not. Let me see if I can show you. See, it says vegan on there. This product is vegan, and it's very simple ingredients, nothing funky in there. And then what I do with this gravy, I take dehydrated onion flakes, and I make it per the package instruction. And then I put the not chicken bouillon in there by Better Than Bouillon, and I just mix it. Add a little bit of parsley, fresh parsley in it, and that's it. And then I'm going to serve some steamed veggies, whatever I have in my refrigerator. I have broccoli, cauliflower, and zucchini, and carrots. I just put a little bit of onion powder, salt, smoked paprika, Italian seasoning. I toss it all up. Put a little bit of oil if you want, and you can bake it, but I don't. I just steam it. No oil added at all. I steam it. It comes out amazing. So let me plate this up for you so you can see the end product. All right. So here we are. I'm going to show you the plated dish. So here we have the tofu, my steamed veggies, And of course you gotta have enough stuffing in there. So my mashed potatoes, see how they're like a little orangey looking? That's because of the sweet potatoes. And my not turkey gravy. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. I know it's a little laborious, but that tofu, that baked tofu with the stuffing inside is worth every effort. So I hope you guys try it out. And if you guys do try it, give me a thumbs up. All right, let me know how it comes out. Thanks, and have a great day.